My child, lean into the stillness and hear my heart beating for you. I did not lead you across the vast deserts of your past only to abandon you at the edge of your future. There is a truth I need you to grasp, a reality that will shift the very ground you stand upon. In the courts of eternity, where time does not exist and only truth remains, a divine decree was made concerning your life. When the shadows tried to claim a right to your soul, when the voices of accusation whispered that you were forgotten, I rose from my throne and spoke 3 words that shattered the silence of the heavens. I said simply, "This one is mine." You do not yet fully comprehend the weight of authority behind those words. When I claim you, the entire spiritual landscape is redrawn. Assignments that were sent to destroy you are instantly revoked. Strategies of darkness that took years to weave together fall apart like smoke in the wind. The enemy had designed an elaborate maze for you, a labyrinth of fear meant to keep you from the destiny I carved out for you before the world began. He calculated your weaknesses, he mapped out your triggers, and he prepared traps for scenarios you haven't even dreamt of yet. But he made one fatal oversight. He forgot that you are never, ever fighting alone. The reason these words are reaching your ears right now is because heaven has staged an intervention on your behalf. This is not the result of random chance. This is divine orchestration of the highest order. I have waited for this exact window of time. The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. My child, lean into the stillness and hear my heart beating for you. I did not lead you across the vast deserts of your past only to abandon you at the edge of your future. There is a truth I need you to grasp, a reality that will shift the very ground you stand upon. In the courts of eternity, where time does not exist and only truth remains, a divine decree was made concerning your life. When the shadows tried to claim a right to your soul, when the voices of accusation whispered that you were forgotten, I rose from my throne and spoke 3 words that shattered the silence of the heavens. I said simply, "This one is mine." You do not yet fully comprehend the weight of authority behind those words. When I claim you, the entire spiritual landscape is redrawn. Assignments that were sent to destroy you are instantly revoked. Strategies of darkness that took years to weave together fall apart like smoke in the wind. The enemy had designed an elaborate maze for you, a labyrinth of fear meant to keep you from the destiny I carved out for you before the world began. He calculated your weaknesses, he mapped out your triggers, and he prepared traps for scenarios you haven't even dreamt of yet. But he made one fatal oversight. He forgot that you are never, ever fighting alone. The reason these words are reaching your ears right now is because heaven has staged an intervention on your behalf. This is not the result of random chance. This is divine orchestration of the highest order. I have waited for this exact window of time to breathe fresh courage into your lungs and to wake up the boldness that has been sleeping in your weary soul. I want to remind you of truths that the noise of this world has tried to drown out. Listen to me, deep in the marrow of your being. Courage is not the absence of fear. True courage is trusting me while your hands are still shaking. It is choosing to believe my promises when every natural eye tells you that those promises are impossible. I have felt the weight you've been carrying. I have watched you play the role of the strong one for everyone else while you were quietly coming undone inside. I saw you put on that brave face for your children, smiling through the pain with your friends, and telling the world you were fine when the reality was a tangled web of confusion. You've become an expert at burying your fear in the deep, dark corners of your heart, hoping it would stay there. But fear is a weed that grows in the dark, my child. It multiplies in the silence. It gains strength every time you refuse to bring it into the light of my presence. This is why I have come to you today with such urgency. The fear you've been hiding has been trying to consume the very courage you need to finish your race. But here is the secret the enemy is desperate for you to overlook. Your fear has zero power over your destiny the moment you place it in my hands. From your perspective, the giants look like mountains, but from my throne, they are nothing more than dust. The enemies gathered against you have already been stripped of their armor. You just cannot see the victory yet because you are still looking through human eyes. I am inviting you to borrow my perspective. Let me tell you about the courage I am activating in you today. It isn't the reckless bravery the world cheers for. It isn't a foolish ego that rushes into danger without wisdom. The courage I am planting in you is deeper. It is the courage to remain still when everything screams for you to panic. It is the courage to obey my voice even when the instructions sound like nonsense to the logic of man. This is supernatural courage. It cannot be manufactured by positive thinking. It can only be born from an encounter with the living God. Think of my servant, Joshua, standing at the edge of a promise that looked like a death sentence. Behind him were 40 years of wandering, decades of waiting for a breakthrough that never seemed to come. Before him was a land of giants and fortified cities. His people looked to him for strength he didn't feel he had. And in that moment of crushing pressure, I didn't give him a motivational speech. I gave him a promise backed by my eternal nature. I told him, "Be strong and courageous, for I, the Lord your God, will be with you wherever you go." I wasn't minimizing the giants, they were real. But I was telling him that my presence was more real. I am telling you the same thing right now. Your challenges are real. Your bills are real. Your health concerns are real. But the God who created the stars and breathed life into the dust is standing right beside you. Be strong, not because you are capable, but because I am. You don't have to figure out how to win. You just have to trust the one who has never lost a battle. I know you have questions that keep you awake. You wonder if I've moved on to someone more deserving. Let me be clear. I have not forgotten you for a single second. Your name is carved in the palms of my hands. Your face is always before me. When you feel most alone, I am closer to you than your own breath. The delays you faced aren't evidence of my absence. They are proof of my precision. I am not late. I am strategic. I am assembling a victory for you that accounts for every detail you cannot see. And that weight you feel regarding your family, let me lift it. You were never meant to be their sole protector. They are under my watch. The same God who was tending to your heart is tending to theirs with equal devotion. When I gave them to you, I didn't leave you to manage them with your human limitations. I placed them in your life as a gift. A chance to see my faithfulness ripple through generations. You don't have to be their savior. They already have one, and I am far more capable than you could ever imagine.
I see the unique calling in each of your children. I see the struggles they face as the very fires that will forge their character. Nothing in their lives is an accident. I am weaving a tapestry of grace through your bloodline. And my provision for you, it isn't tied to the economy of this world. It isn't limited by job markets or bank accounts. I am your source. If I could rain bread from heaven for millions in a barren desert for 40 years, do you really think I cannot provide for you in your current situation? I am inviting you into a rest that makes no sense to the world. This isn't laziness. This is trust in action. It is the peace of a child resting in a parent's arms, knowing that every need is already accounted for. I know it feels risky to let go of control. You've been hurt, and you built walls to stay safe. But I am not a man that I should lie. I am the eternal, unchanging, faithful God. You can let your guard down with me. Reject the lies that tell you that you aren't enough. Reject the anxiety that rehearses catastrophes. Those are weapons designed to paralyze you, but you have authority over every lie. The truth is that you are more than enough because my Spirit lives inside you. The truth is that your future is filled with hope, not because life is easy, but because I am good. You are fighting from a position of guaranteed triumph. The victory was settled before the battle even began. So walk with your head held high. Walk as my representative on this earth. Your courage is contagious. When you stand firm, you give everyone around you permission to do the same. You are a carrier of my boldness. Come to me in your moments of weakness. Don't wait until you're strong enough. Come when you're afraid. Come when you're doubting. I will fill you with my strength and saturate you with my peace. We are partners in this journey. You carry the obedience, and I will carry the battle. My beloved child, why have the storms around you been so relentless lately? Why does it feel as though every time you find your footing, a new wave rises to knock you back? I hear the silent why in your heart, and I want you to know that I am not offended by your questions. I welcome your honesty. I invite your confusion into my presence. I am vast enough to hold all your frustration and all your doubt without ever letting you go. Listen closely to what I am about to tell you, for the intensity of your struggle is deeply intertwined with the magnitude of your calling. The enemy of your soul does not waste his strength attacking those who pose no threat to his darkness. He targets the ones whose obedience will spark a revolution of grace. He focuses on those whose faithfulness will light a path for others to follow. The very fact that you have faced such fierce opposition is not a sign that you are failing. It is the ultimate evidence that you are significant. You are under fire because you matter to the kingdom. You are facing resistance because your very existence threatens the foundations of the shadow world. But there is a deeper work happening in the middle of the fire. The trials you have endured are producing a weight of glory that comfort could never forge. They are carving out a capacity for perseverance within you. They are building a character that is unshakable and a faith that has been refined like pure gold. When you step out of this season, you will not be the same person who walked into it. You will emerge with eyes that see more clearly and a heart that beats with a deeper compassion for those who are still in the dark. You are being invested in for a future you cannot yet see. Your tears are not a waste. They are the seeds of a harvest that will feed many. In the days ahead, I am giving you a new way to walk. When fear begins to rise in your chest, do not run from it. Speak my name into the atmosphere. When doubt whispers that I have forgotten you, declare my promises out loud until they become more real than your circumstances. When anxiety tries to steal your breath, stop and breathe deeply of my spirit. These are not mere rituals. They are the keys to the fortress of my presence. The enemy wants to isolate you in your pain, but every time you turn your gaze towards me, his strategy crumbles. I am also commanding you to do something that might feel difficult. I am telling you to rest, not just a spiritual rest, but a physical surrender. Your body is exhausted from carrying heavy burdens that were always meant to be in my hands. Your mind is weary from trying to solve puzzles that only I can finish. I am giving you divine permission to let go. I am giving you permission to sleep without guilt and to care for your own soul without feeling selfish. You cannot pour love into your family from a dry well. There is a rhythm I designed for you, a sacred heartbeat of work and rest, activity and stillness, giving and receiving. You have been out of sync for too long, and I am calling you back into my tempo. Let me pull back the curtain on the horizon I have prepared for you. This current season is temporary. It is a passing storm, not a permanent climate. The difficulties you are facing today will not have the final word.
There is a breakthrough approaching that will make every moment of waiting feel like a small price to pay. In the future I have authored, your family is not just surviving, they are thriving. The prayers you've whispered in the middle of the night are being answered in the light of day. You will see the fruit of your faithfulness in the lives of your children and your children's children. I am also bringing you into a season of abundance, not a hollow prosperity, but a richness that allows you to be a river of generosity to everyone around you. You will find yourself at peace, not because your problems have vanished, but because you have found your home in me. This peace is rooted in our relationship, a steady anchor that holds firm regardless of the weather. Hold this vision in your heart whenever the path feels steep. The future is brilliant because I am already standing in it, waiting for you.
I am breathing a gift of courage into you right now. This isn't something you have to manufacture or earn. It is a deposit from my spirit. Open your heart and receive it like the morning sun. This courage will show up in very practical ways in the coming weeks. You will find yourself speaking with a quiet authority where you used to stay silent. You will make decisions with a strange, settled calm where you used to be paralyzed by what-ifs. This is my power moving through your will. Understand that courage does not mean you will never feel afraid again. It means you will have the strength to walk forward even when your knees are trembling. Faith is not the absence of questions. It is the decision to trust the answer giver. If you wait until you feel ready or brave to move, you may never leave the winepress. But when you take that first step in obedience, you will find that the ground beneath you is solid rock. One step at a time, we will travel this distance together. You are a carrier of my light, and your courage is contagious. There are people in your life, friends, strangers, and future generations who will find their own strength because they watched you trust me. I am so deeply proud of you. I am proud of the battles you fought, even when you felt like you were losing. I see the times you chose to be kind when it would have been easier to be bitter. I see the way you kept believing even when the heavens seemed silent. You are not perfect, but you are faithful, and faithfulness is the language of my heart. As you move forward from this moment of stillness, carry this courage as your shield. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm as you listen to these words. A new weight of authority has been placed upon your shoulders. I am working all things together for your ultimate good, weaving the dark threads and the light threads into a masterpiece. Trust my love, for it is the only thing in this universe that will never fail you. Trust my provision, for I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. Trust my timing, for I see the end from the beginning. The mountains that look so imposing from your valley are just small hills from my perspective. The giants that threaten you have already been disarmed. You are more than a conqueror through the one who loves you with an everlasting love. No weapon formed against your destiny will be allowed to prosper. Be strong, little one. Be courageous. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. That is my blood-bought promise to you. I also want to heal the wounds left by the people you trusted who let you down. I know you expect me to reject you because they did. You expect me to be disappointed because you were told you were never enough. But my child, I am not like the broken people who hurt you. My faithfulness is not dependent on your performance. I am inviting you to let down the walls of your heart, brick by brick. I am the only one who can truly be trusted with your whole story. Let me show you what real, unconditional love feels like. There is a specific purpose within you, a contribution that only you can make to this world. That stirring you feel in your soul is my calling. You don't have to wait until you are perfect to start. You don't have to wait until the path is perfectly clear. When I say go, your lack of readiness is simply an opportunity for my strength to be made perfect in your weakness. Remember Gideon, who I called a mighty warrior while he was still hiding in fear. I don't call the equipped, I equip the called. Even when you are in the dark soil of waiting, know that I am working on your roots. You are being prepared for a breakthrough that will be solid and lasting. The darkness is not your grave, it is your garden. Everything you are going through right now is preparing you to stand tall in the light. Guard your mind from the lies of the enemy. Counter every "you can't" with my "I can." You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and your future is held in the palm of my hand. My precious child, the secret to walking in an unshakable spirit is not found in a single moment of bravery, but in the quiet, constant rhythm of our connection. I am not looking for a one-time encounter that slowly withers as the days go by. I am inviting you into a living, breathing relationship that is made new with every sunrise. The courage I am pouring into your heart right this second is perfect for the breath you are taking now. But as the sun sets and rises again, you will need a fresh supply for the unique battles of tomorrow. Do not try to survive on the strength of yesterday's victories. Think of our time together like the very air that fills your lungs. You do not take one deep breath in the morning and expect it to sustain you until the night falls. You breathe in and out, a continuous exchange of taking in my life and releasing your heavy burdens. This is how our communion is meant to be, an ongoing intake of my grace and constant conversation of the soul, and a regular refreshment that keeps your spirit from ever running dry. When you live in this state of constant nearness to me, you are never operating on empty. You are never forced to face a giant using only the fading memory of a past blessing. Instead, you are freshly supplied, newly armed, and recently encouraged for every obstacle that dares to stand in your way. And I want you to know that I have not designed you to develop this boldness in isolation. True spiritual strength is forged in the company of others. Listen closely, for I am strategically placing people in your life who carry a piece of the puzzle you are missing. These are voices that will shout my truth when the lies of the world are screaming. These are friends who will hold up your hands when you are too weary to fight, and who will remind you of my faithfulness when your own memory begins to falter. These connections are not accidents of fate. They are divine appointments, carefully planned by my hand to ensure you reach your destination.
I am asking you to have the courage to let people in. I know you have been wounded in the past, and I know those scars tell you to stay hidden and protected. But do not let the fear of being vulnerable keep you in a prison of loneliness when I am offering you the safety of community. It takes a special kind of bravery to accept help, to be honest about your struggles, and to lean on those who have earned your trust. Isolation is a shadow where the enemy works. Community is the light where I dwell. There is a legacy flowing through your veins that is far greater than your own lifespan. The boldness I am waking up inside you is a gift for your children, your grandchildren, and the generations you will never see with your physical eyes. When you choose to walk in faith despite your fear, you are literally breaking the chains of anxiety that have bound your family line for decades. Every time you trust me in the dark, you are creating a map for those who follow you to find their way into the light. Think of the spiritual inheritance you are building in this very moment. Every time you choose to believe my word over your feelings, you are making a massive deposit into a generational account of faith. Every battle you win today is ground that your descendants will not have to bleed for tomorrow. Your courage has an echo that travels through time, shaping the destiny of souls yet unborn. But remember, I am calling you to a courage that is always joined with my wisdom. I am not asking you to be reckless or to ignore the reality of your circumstances. Divine courage is never foolish. It is always balanced by the careful discernment of my spirit. There is a profound difference between acting on a human impulse and moving on a divine instruction. Foolishness rushes forward to satisfy the ego. Courage steps forward to honor the king.
Foolishness ignores the costs, but courage counts the costs and trusts me to pay them. When you are walking in the courage I have given you, you will feel a deep internal peace that confirms you are on the right path. If you ever feel a frantic, uneasy pressure to act, stop and wait for my stillness. So, step into this new season with your head held high, my beloved. Face your giants knowing that they are already small in my sight. Protect your family with the knowledge that they are tucked under the shadow of my wings. Trust for your provision, for I am the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. This is the freedom I am placing in your hands today. Receive it, walk in it, let it reshape the way you see yourself and the world around you. The world is desperately searching for people who trust me without a backup plan. It needs souls who can look at a storm and see an opportunity for a miracle. It needs you, walking in the authority I have granted you. If these words have stirred something in your spirit, then you are ready to be a conduit of this same blessing for someone else. Do not keep this light to yourself. Share it with a heart that is currently shivering in the cold. Declare your agreement with this truth and watch how the atmosphere around you begins to shift. You are not a wanderer. You are a child of the Most High, and your breakthrough is not just coming, it is here. Go forth now with a heart full of my peace. I am with you in the conversation, I am with you in the decision, and I am with you in the rest. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. You are mine. Rest, my child. Rest in the shadow of my wings. I am moving in the invisible places. I am opening doors you haven't even knocked on yet. Everything is working for your good, even the things that feel like they're working against you. My beloved child, let the silence between my words become a blanket for your soul. We are moving into a deeper chamber of my heart now, a place where the noise of the world cannot find you. I am speaking to the part of you that has been running for so long it has forgotten how to be still. You have carried the weight of the how and the when for far too many seasons, but in this hour, I am inviting you to lay down the burden of understanding. You do not need to know the way when you are being carried by the one who is the way. I am reaching into the deep architecture of your mind to dismantle the strongholds of what if. Those loops of worry that play in the dark are being silenced by the frequency of my love. I am rewriting the script of your expectations. Where you have expected disappointment, I am planting a seed of holy anticipation. Where you have expected lack, I am revealing the hidden storehouses of my grace. Your future is not a repeat of your past failures. It is a canvas being painted by my hand with colors you have never even seen. I want to talk to you about the years you think were wasted. I see the seasons where you felt you were going in circles, the time spent in the wilderness where nothing seemed to grow. In my economy, nothing is ever truly lost. I am the God who redeems the time. I am gathering every lesson learned in the dark and every tear shed in the silence, and I am turning them into the very foundation of your greatest strength. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten, and the harvest will be so sudden and so sweet that the pain of the waiting will be swallowed up in joy. Feel the restoration flowing into your physical frame right now. I am the architect of your body, and I am speaking peace to every nerve, every muscle, and every cell. I am pulling out the toxins of stress and the residue of constant vigilance. You were never meant to live in a state of fight or flight. You were meant to live in the rest and reign of my kingdom. Breathe in my healing light, and as you breathe out, let go of the tension you have held as a shield. I am your shield. You no longer need to be your own. Look at the mountains before you one last time. Notice how they seem to shrink as you lean closer to me. From your own height, they were insurmountable obstacles. But as I lift you up to see from my perspective, they are merely stepping stones for your advancement. I am giving you a mountaintop mind, a spirit that rises above the clouds of circumstance to see the sun that never stops shining. You are being positioned for a view of your life that is clear, vast, and absolute certainty. As this hour of stillness continues, let your heart become a wide-open vessel. I am pouring in a new level of discernment. You will begin to recognize the open doors from the distractions. You will hear my voice behind you saying,
This is the way, walk in it, even when the path seems to lead through the unknown. My favor is going before you like a royal herald, preparing hearts to receive you and gates to open for you. You are moving into a season of uncommon ease because I am the one doing the heavy lifting. Rest now, my beloved, truly rest. The work of this hour is spiritual, and it is being completed while you remain in the quiet. I am sealing these words into the very fabric of your destiny. When you wake, or when you return to your day, you will carry a fragrance of my presence that others will notice. They will ask of the hope that is in you, and you will tell them of the one who met you in the silence and changed everything. I love you with a love that has no end. I protect you with a power that has no equal. I lead you with a wisdom that has no error. You are safe. You are whole. You are home. Be still. Be still. Be still. For the transition is finished, and the new day is here.